Well, hello and welcome to the live stream, everybody. Kuya Storm, how are you, my friend? Yeah, doing pretty good today. Doing pretty good. Making a recovery. And so, how are you? Doing pretty good. It's definitely a little warm in my part of the world, but it's starting to cool off. I think it's down in the 90s, in the low 90s. So, but thank you for coming in. Thank you for the thumbs up. Appreciate that. Let me get the camera looking better. Maybe like that, a little bit better. Sam says hello to everybody. Yeah, I know, Sam. I'm happy for you, Sam. Whatever floats your boat, buddy. It's kind of hot. It's probably not the best thing to be outside in this heat, after being in the hospital, but I don't know. I got tired of sitting indoors in the air conditioning, and it does look like it may cool off. There's some storm clouds over that way a little bit. So I wanted to try to come out and, try to get some fresh air. Because I believe fresh air is a good thing. So come out and do that. But thank everybody coming in. If you catch us on the recap, we appreciate that. Just stick around. Wow, got dizzy there for a second. And we'll get excited about some topics here in a little while. But for now, we'll just take it easy and try to get going as we go. So it is. I'm hoping. I mean, we got a big breeze, so I'm hoping the winds, storms. I forgot I was going to look at the radar. Let me do that while we're chatting. I wanted to look at the radar because we got clouds coming from the east, which is strange for us, as they usually come from the west. I don't know if it's part of the stuff from. The hurricane isn't anywhere close to America yet. I don't think. So I sure it can't be any of that. But I know parts of Florida, Mississippi, and areas had been getting a lot of rain. So let's see if I can't get the radar to pull up. But it doesn't seem like my radar device wants to work. My weather bug. I like using WeatherBug. It's an easy app. I've been using them forever, but I gotta admit, lately I've had troubles with them, and I don't know why. So, Meme is in the house. Meme is here. Meme is new to the group. Thank you for being here, Meme. Meme, if you didn't know, I am a poor old guy. Just wanted to throw that out for all you new people. So, how are you doing today, Meme? I'm trying to, it's really hot, but there is a breeze, and I got tired of sitting indoors. And I'm trying to look at the damn radar, but because we got some storm clouds to the east, and I want to see if there's anything happening, that would be exciting. Oh, crap. Jesus. Man, the whole state of Louisiana is getting their butts kicked. Scott, expat in the Philippines, has a new video out if you guys haven't seen that. So we're getting a little bit of storms to the east of us. Florida's getting a lot. All right, so nothing for me to get my hopes up. I was hoping to get some rain tonight so I didn't have to water the plants because all the plants are about to die to death because it's 400 degrees. Oh, you are poor old guy. Yes, I know, I know. Thank you for acknowledging that, Meme. How are you? What's going on in your world? So yeah, I was saying, man, I got tired of sitting indoors. I've been trying to rest after getting out of the hospital. I had to go to the hospital this weekend. So I'm kind of just, do I live under a bridge? Kind of looks like a bridge wall, right? And it could be. What's wrong with living under a bridge? Why you living under the bridge hater? Come on now. We can't be hating on the people that live under the bridge. It's not very nice. Come on, man. I like to fish under bridges. Margie TV's in the house. Good to see you, Margie. How are you, young lady? Thank you for the big shout out and the thumbs up and all that good stuff. Good morning to you. Evening here. I'm hoping it's going to cool off. You guys are going to. I'm not feeling the greatest, but I'm here. Wow, that's how I'm taking it because you're like, do you live under a bridge? Or are you saying, wow, you live under a bridge? You know? So it's all about how the host wants to interpret it. So, but hey, we can't be hating on bridge livers or living people or whatever. So, good evening. Yeah, it's evening here. It is 7. I can't even talk. 7:07. It's 90 degrees. It's down. It was 101 today, but it's all right. Oh, now you're hating on Americans. All right, meme. I got you. I see how it is. All right, fine. Yes, I live in America. Margie TV does not live in America. Margie lives in Asia. Good morning, Asia. How's everybody going? So we miss Asia. I like Asia. It's one of my favorite part of the world. There's a lot of things I don't like about Asia, but there's just so many fascinating things, and the cultural history, I think is unbelievable. And of course, a lot of the nature is pretty cool too. So, but I got a feeling today's Monday, and our last week, last week and this week all seemed to ran together because our weekend got all jacked up because of the hospital visit. Meme, I do have a last name that is what would we call that? A modern English variation of a German name or a deviation of a German name. My last name truly is, because I actually found my German heritage history thing. We traced our name back some years ago, and it was spelt similar, but and I can't remember because you got to remember and beg my forgiveness. But I have a squishy brain since my coma, right? And so but I want to say it was not Hoffman. The last name's Hartman, but you wouldn't have got Hart from an English standpoint out of it. So how it became what it was to Hartman, I'm not for sure. But I want to thought it was like, Haufama or something like that. They said was yeah, absolutely mean. Absolutely. So, but we found it. I bought a book about it one time, but I don't know whatever happened to the book. So I used to have a lot of books, and I don't have books anymore. So, but absolutely, man. I find all that stuff fascinating. King Tommy. Well, King Tommy's asking, what do you look for in a relationship with a guy? Well, in a relationship with a guy, I look for somebody with a boat to take me fishing. That's what I want. If you got a boat, oh my God, my cucumbers are dying. You and I can be buddies then. So if you got a boat and you like to fish, you and I just might be friends. Other than that, I really don't need you for anything but fishing. Heart strong. Yeah, I wish I could remember how it was originally spelled. Yeah. I'm starting to remember that too. The strongman part I remember. And I don't want to say it was like Hoffman. That's not close, but it's, I think it still had a T in it if I remember right. I don't know. But someday I'll have to go back and find that. what the originality of my last name, the origins of my last name. Dear Starkman, Pat's Philippine Dreams in the house. Pat, say hello to me, my good buddy from the land of Germany. Dear Starkman, yeah, that definitely was not what the name was. It started with an H, the origin, but I don't remember. And I know that they came over to New Jersey. My family did. My little group came over with a bunch of Germans into the New York and settled in New Jersey, and then we came this way. Pat, how are you doing today, buddy? What's going on in your world, Pat? Pat's got a brand new channel going on. It's called Pat's Philippines Dreams. He's going to rock the world with it. Doing good? Nice. I'm doing better, Pat. I'm struggling, but I'm doing better. I probably shouldn't be outside in the 90 degrees heat, but I really just, I don't know. I got tired of sitting indoors. I felt like I needed some fresh air. And, you know. So I was hoping maybe we'd get a pop-up shower or something, but I kind of got tired of being indoors. So I know it's really hot out, and my breathing is a little messy, but I don't know. I just wanted some fresh air is what I wanted tonight. And then I knew Meme was going to be here, and he would want to educate me. So, what's really weird? I don't know if anybody else out there in the world has problems, but one of the things that made look, you guys all know I'm not shy about my problems. All right. One of the things I hate about my physical conditioning, I get dizzy when I look up. I don't know if other people do that or not, but if I gotta look up, I start to get dizzy. So we got a few showers, nice. We hadn't got any in a week or so. I need to water Lorelai's plants tonight, and I'll do that. I was hoping we got some showers over in the east, and I saw Florida, Mississippi was getting hammered. So I thought we might get a pop-up because there's some clouds kind of darker over to the east, which is never the case in my world. My world, they come from the west. But our cucumbers look like shit. Our cucumbers are not doing well. Hey, David, have you been away for a while? Thank you for wishing me well, Mark. No, I mean, I have. We had a bad weekend health-wise, but I've been doing live streams quite a bit and putting out some videos, Mark. We've missed seeing you. But this weekend, I had to go to the emergency room, and now I got, 20, 30 tests, lined up to be, to be completed. So, but up until this weekend, I thought I was doing pretty good, but this weekend turned out not to be the case. But up until this weekend, I thought, hey, I'm doing okay. I'm down about 65 pounds. I thought I was doing pretty good until this weekend hit. The professor, my good buddy, good evening, morning, brother. It's great to see you. The Bass King back at the crib. That's it. Hello, chat. Whoop, whoop. Yeah, Ron, I was telling him, I said, it's really hot here. But I got so tired of being stuck indoors, and I just truly wanted to sit outside for a while and get some fresh air, because I believe fresh air in nature makes you feel better. And so you probably see me sweating, but just don't sweat over it. I think it's just how hot it is. But Ronald, I appreciate the kind words and the well wishes. I do, as you know. But yeah, I had to go to the emergency room and do all of that, and I got a bunch of hummingbirds flying around today. So I'm watching these hummingbirds. But Google, the name Hartman is a German surname and literally means hard man, strong man, and it's made of the old High German words heart, strong, and man. All right, I believe you. I believe him. If there's anybody that would know, it's you, my friend. So, oh, you Googled it? But I thought it was spelled. I don't know. I have to look at the spelling because I had a book one time. I paid like $100 for this. It's probably bogus. Probably a bunch of lies. You know, sweet on it, sweat on. Yeah. So, well, a little sweating's not bad. I mean, unless you're not trying to sweat. That's a load to you. So yeah, heart issues, lung issues. We had a just kind of whole array of things popping off this weekend. Don't know why. Went to the emergency room, spent $10 or $20 million there, and they didn't they didn't have an answer. So when we left, we knew less than we came in. I did feel somewhat better when I left because they doped me up to take the pain away. But other than that, we really didn't have any answers. Sorry about that, guys. What happens if you guys don't know? What happens if you guys don't know is anytime we're on an iPhone, and so if somebody calls in, whether you send it a voicemail or do anything, it it cuts things out. It freezes it while it does whatever it wants to do, which is very irritating. But Mark, yeah, I have no hat today because it's just too damn hot out here. I didn't, I know I'm going to sweat a lot. I probably need to sweat to get the toxins out of my body. But yeah, that's why. That's why I didn't. This is one of those really thin materials that breathes. I'm not even wearing a cool shirt tonight because I know I'm going to sweat and no, I don't feel the greatest. So I'm just kind of bare minimum tonight. Can't hear you, brother? Yeah, I know. No video. That's okay. You need a second SIM card. Well, I don't think you can put. You're not saying put two SIM cards in one phone, are you? Because I don't think that's possible. Are you saying use a different SIM card when you're doing live streams? So yeah, it's a problem with the iPhones. It drives me crazy, and I can't stop people from randomly calling me. Like that was a medical scheduling people, to schedule some of these upcoming. Because that's all we did this weekend. We found out that they don't know what's wrong, and now we got to go take these 4 or 5 other tests. That's what what they really wanted to know was that. But uh, but it's all right. And in one way, Meme, you're kind of right. I thought about buying a second phone just for live streaming. I really have. I've thought about doing a separate phone and use it just for live stream. So I have thought about that. I never used egg phones. I never use egg phones. Can they don't handle a second card? Well, I don't. To be honest, I've never heard of any phone that you can put two SIM cards in at the same time. But I could be wrong because I really don't know. But I've never heard of a phone that you can, because then that would have then you would have to do something kind of like, sorry. Then you would have to do something kind of like, um, if you have a truck that has dual gas tanks on it or fuel tanks, you would have to be able to switch from one to the other, right? And so you'd have to do that inside the phone somehow to switch back and forth, is what I reckon. I don't really know, to be honest. Really? Yes, they are a thing. Really, I didn't know that. Ronald, is there a particular brand? Because I don't think these iPhones we have, Lorelai and I have, are. I don't think they are. I'm going to have to ask her later tonight. But I don't think they are. You actually use a dual SIM card. Okay, is it the SIM card? I guess what I'm picturing is you got a phone and it has two SIM card slots. Or are you saying that they make SIM cards that are dual, that you could have two different numbers associated with? Okay. Huh. Yeah, what we've done when we've traveled is we've used what we do, Ronald, is we take like my phone or Lorelai's phone, one of our two phones, and we buy a SIM card for that, for one of our phones. So like if we're going to go to the Philippines for the month, we'll take Lorelai's phone and put a new SIM card in it for the month that we're in the Philippines, but we leave mine as is. And then we use hers for everything in the Philippines. Okay, two slots. I didn't know that. I wonder if the latest, the iPhone people keep bugging me about wanting me to buy a new iPhone. You know how that is. But, yeah, I don't know. But I didn't know that. I didn't know they were making those. That'd be pretty cool, I guess. You know? And then I'm sure it's like going into settings and just switching, right? Is that kind of like having a Google number? You know, I know a lot of people have Google numbers. Like if they have a business or if they're doing like me, if you're also doing something on Facebook Marketplace, a lot of people have a Google number so that people don't know who you really are. Yep, is that what it is? All right. So I'll look into that. I don't know. I guess the only advantage for that would be sitting here. If I switch it over to the secondary stream or the secondary SIM card, then nobody calling in could interrupt my live stream. And then everything would probably just be. So what happens to the message that was? So what happens if I'm live streaming, and somebody calls into my other phone number? What happens to that message? Is it kind of just out there in virtual land, waiting for the SIM card to be turned back on? Then it gets downloaded to, that new SIM, to the original SIM card. I wonder how that works. The phone has to be international phone. Okay, all right. We're going to look into that. We are going to travel internationally next year. So it goes on to the SIM, like a memory card. It's in the background. All right. Good to know. I don't know. Because next year Lorelai really wants to do a European vacation. She wants to go on a cruise to, I don't know, Germany and somewhere else. I don't know. Scandinavia, I think. So we're going to be working on going on a cruise next year. So maybe that would be something we could do for that. Yeah. But our phones, what I hate about the phone system is I don't like buying new phones all the time. I don't like having, the first iPhone I had it for like 5 years. Come to Wales, yeah, maybe. I good to see you, Galactic Game, and everybody said hello there, each other for me. I don't know where this trip. I told her she sent it to me, but I don't remember where it's going. I know she keeps mentioning Germany. I'm doing all right. I'm still tired. I'm still sore. I thought it's hot, if you can't tell. It's hot out, but I wanted to sit outside and get some fresh air. You know, I believe that fresh air is in sunshine, and I'm allergic to the sun. I don't know if you guys believe that or not, but I'm actually allergic to the sun. So, but I like the sun, so I want to sit on. I turned 29 today. Happy birthday! And are you in Vegas? Are you in Vegas? No, next week. You're going to be in Vegas next week, right? Lorelai wanted to know where names comes from. I can show you the place. It's not far from my home. That's cool. Ma'am, that's very cool. Yeah, the fairy tale of Lorelai. And doesn't it turn out to be like a horrible thing where she kills somebody or something? Isn't Lorelai like an evil person? Or I'm gonna try to show you the hummingbird tonight. So we're gonna rotate positions and be calm. And I want you guys to look back up here. That's a hummingbird feeder. And so if I see the hummingbird come, I'm gonna switch the camera around. You have somebody who's allergic to the sun? Yeah, I am. I have porphyria, which is also kind of considered vampire disease, which is funny. Yep, I get to go to Vegas in a week. Yeah, we've been thinking about going to Vegas. Lorelai wants to do something nice for our wedding anniversary this year, even though I'm a little stressed over it because she wants to do something nice for the wedding anniversary, and then she has a milestone birthday. Oh, there's the hummingbirds. There's the hummingbirds. Oh, I need to refill my feeder. So then in the spring, she has a birthday, and we have a friend who's pregnated, gonna have a baby all at the same time. So that's gonna be expensive because she wants to have a big blowout birthday party. And then in the summer, she wants to go to Europe, overseas for the cruise, right? So I'm starting to stress a little. Yeah, but I can't remember if Lorelai because I've read the fairy tale, believe it or not. Um, her her uncle, her German uncle, sent us a thing. One of the shipments. See, and this is why I love the German uncle. The German uncle once a year, twice a year, would send us a box full of goodies from Germany and all the other surrounding places that he could go to, like candies and treats. And one time he sent us a little thing about the fairy tale of Lorelai. That was years ago, and I almost want to say I thought it was like Lorelai was some kind of serial killer in it or something. I don't know. My friend Ozzy's back in that. Ozzy's back. Good to see you, Ozzy. How are you? Hairbo? Haribo? Harbo? Is that like the gummy bears? I don't like gummy bears, to be honest. I'm not a gummy bear fan. So yeah, that's what our goal is. So we were thinking about maybe taking a quick trip to Vegas this year. Yes, yeah, gummy bear candy. Yes, oh yeah, not really into that. If you eat too many of the sugar-free, the sugar-free gummy bears are the worst thing for you because they are made up of a chemical that will give you diarrhea. Did you know that? If you eat more than a handful of those sugar-free ones, you better be close to a bathroom. I can't remember the chemical name, but it's basically a laxative. It causes your stomach to dump. So those are the sugar-free ones. I don't know about the regular ones. But I was looking at maybe taking a 4-day trip, 3-day trip to Vegas, 3.5 day or something for the wedding anniversary this year. But I don't know. They all keep popping up being really expensive. Yeah. Okay. See, I knew it was something like that. Meme. The fairy tale about Lorelai was she's a mass murderer. That's right. She lured ships to the ground. That's right. So she was a siren, right? And she killed all these poor innocent people. Hey, what's your wife's claim to fame? Anybody? My wife's a mass murderer. She kills people on ships. Sea siren, that's right. Uh, she likes to kill people. Is what she likes. Uh, My wife's a good wife. My wife is a good wife. She took good care of me while I was in the hospital and the day before. You know how us guys are. Lorelai always gets mad because, I was having problems Friday, I guess it was. And I wanted to, what, yeah, Friday. Friday's when it's right after the live stream I did on Friday night. I started having all kinds of problems. And I went and lay down. Lorelai came home. She stayed up talking to friends and stuff and hanging out. But I was miserable Friday night, Saturday morning. Then finally, about 2 o'clock Saturday, we decided, or she made me go to the emergency room. She made me go to the you know, and get told they don't know what's wrong with me. They did um, one weird thing that happened is my iron level, which is concerning, dropped under 50. And that's the lowest mine's been. I'm on an iron supplement because of the fact I'm allergic to the sun, believe it or not. It's part of the porphyria, how you can't process vitamin D and iron and stuff like that. So, but for some reason, my very stable iron level over these years of taking iron supplements plummeted. So now I don't say they're panicking, but they're like, oh, well, you need to go. We got to do these other tests to find out if that's accurate. And two, if it is, why if you're still taking the same amount of supplements, why is it not registering all of a sudden? So we got to go and do that, but we'll get all of that done in the next few weeks. Some ultrasounds and I got to do another endoscope of my lungs because you guys don't know, my lungs are filled full of these masses. It's called sarcoidosis, and there's these chunks, these masses in my lungs. So yeah, so that causes problems. But yeah, but Lorelai, the murdering boat person, at least she takes good care of me. I don't know about all the other people she murders when she lures them to the rocky shores, but you know, the good thing, I guess, Lorelai, my Lorelai being from the Philippines, if she did that in the Philippines, most of them would just ran up on a sandy beach. So they would probably survive that. But I don't know. And thinking of that, I wonder. I heard that hurricane jumped up to Category 5 over the weekend, but now they're calling for some tidal flooding or shore flooding against by out where Pat is on the east coast of the country. I haven't caught up with that too much, but I guess now they're worried that there's going to be some coastal flooding going on the east coast. And Florida and Mississippi and places. Louisiana's getting hammered with rain today, but I don't know. So, but Lorelai did a good job. So if you see Lorelai, tell her, hey, you did a good job. That's all I know. That's all I know. I know it's hot, but that's all right. I can tell our cucumber didn't do very well this year. I don't know why. I don't know. Lorelai's Filipino green bean, those great big long green beans, are doing pretty good. They seem to like the heat. Our cucumbers don't seem to like the heat, and I keep watering them. But we haven't even gotten one full cucumber. They all kind of grow to be about this big, then they die. So I think we're not very good gardeners at this point in time in life and history. So lesson learned. I don't know. Her squash isn't doing any good this year either. But we got a lot of tomatoes out of the garden. But so how's everybody else doing? Enough about me. Don't feel bad for me. Don't fret over me. I'm tough and I'm good and I can handle it. I've been through a lot more in my life than you could ever imagine. So, how's everybody else doing? Ronald, if you're still there, how's everything going in the Philippines? Ozzy, what's going on in your world? Thank you for being here. Galactic's going to go to Vegas soon. He's excited. Pat, what's going on in your world today? You said your son was up for the weekend or something, right? So that's good. We haven't really, I think, talked to anybody from the Philippines this week. We've been too busy this week. And Lorelai usually talks to the Philippines, her friends, once a week at least. So all good and do hood. Nice. So the lady is still doing well? You still doing well with the lady or the ladies? You know? I need to catch up with one of my one of the guys I know who just got back from the Philippines and get his rundown. So, Meme is talking German. Allies permit. I understand. Was your prime minister in America today, Meme? Thunderclap packs. Hey man, how's it going tonight? Good. Good. It's going pretty good. Hot but good, man. Thank you for coming in. Thank you for the thumbs up. Yep, yep, yep. You doing good with that, Ronald? Nice. She's down in Cavite with the baby. Nice. Good. As long as you're happy, we're happy. You know what I mean? Is what I told I don't know if you guys know Bruce Davis. He's married. He's moving to the Philippines real soon. And him and I were talking one day a while back. I guess some people were giving him shit about the girl that he married. And I told him, hey, tell him all to F off. Don't let him give you any grief about your girl. You know, what you decide to do, how you decide to do it, that's your business. You tell everybody else to stick it. You know, he's on the way to the Philippines, I think, I don't know when, in this month or next month, to live there permanently with his wife. But he was privately telling me that he'd been getting shit from some expats, saying that his woman was no good and all this. And I told him, I said, you just tell them to go F off. You know, you stand up for your woman, and you chose her, you know, so there had to be something good there. And don't let anybody say a damn thing about her. That's how I see it. I mean, I saw, you know, a video this weekend about some guy ranting and raving about some other guy, how he stood in front of some girls attacking his wife. And I watched it and I said, well, you know, I don't know what the problem is, because if a bunch of girls try to attack my wife, I'd beat the shit out of the women. You know, I mean, I have no problem with that. I mean, I'm not going to let anybody physically, emotionally, verbally abuse my wife, and neither should you. We should, if you're going to be with somebody, you have to have the ability, the fortitude, the willingness to stand up for them. And, you know, and we have people mad at us, Ronald, and you guys all know that used to come on here a lot. And he would ask for my relationship advice, and he asked a lot of you guys for relationship advice. And I would tell him what I think and what I said, and he got really mad. And Lorelai talked to his wife and said, look, you know, here's how it is in America after you've been here a long time. Basically, maybe you guys all need to take a chill and just relax, learn each other, and go with the flow. And he got mad at me one time saying that I made his life worse by the advice I gave him. And I told him, I said, first and foremost, I told you don't take my advice. You asked, so I gave it to you, but you don't got to take my advice. And then I told him, I said, and to be honest, you picked your wife. I didn't pick her. I've never met her. I've never seen her. So how can it be my fault that, you know, things you're having problems with your wife? So, so if you're going to pick somebody, at least have the balls to stand up for him. And I admired Bruce for wanting to do just that. Say, no, I'm not going to tolerate this crap. I'm like, that's good. You shouldn't. And I defend my wife against anybody. So, yeah, that's just the way it is. I don't care. Pat likes that. Yes. Pat, anything exciting going on in the dating world for you, or are you kind of just laying low for a while? Um, um, I forgot what I was going to say. Dang it. You never have a problem with your wife because you don't have a wife. Why you don't have a problem? Laying low for a while, relaxing. Good. Don't have a problem with your wife. That's good. Well, that is one way not to ever have a problem with your wife is not to have a wife. You've heard of bitter milk. Oh, I have. I have. Ooh. I like that, Ronald. You've heard of bitter melon, which I have, and it's gross. Well, there's a new vegetable called bitter expat, grown from spite and immaturity and alcohol. All right. Now, I want to add that most of the bitter expats that I know of and have talked to have a problem with the drink. Just going to say. No woman, no cry. That's it. But women are good to have. But I would venture, personally, I mean, we struggled living in the Philippines, but I'm not bitter about it, I don't think. And but I've known a lot of expats, and the ones that are, I don't know, what do you want to say, the crappiest, the bitterest, I think they have problems with the drink. I think that's why they're bitter because maybe they can't accomplish their dream. Maybe the women get sick of them being a drunk and a deadbeat. I don't know, but there are a lot. I mean, when we were living in the Philippines, that's what we heard a lot. We heard a lot about people. Ronald, and you guys, you'll find this shocking. You'll find this shocking, absolutely shocking. My poor dog. You'll find this shocking. I actually had people in the Philippines who I was around a lot say, "Wow, you're really nice for an American." And I'm like, "Well, okay, thank you." And they're like, "Oh no, you don't understand. All the Americans here are mean and nasty, and all they do is cuss and yell and boss people around and drink, drink, drink." And I'm thinking, well, that's one about the drink. I was thinking, well, that's really hilarious because I think the Filipino men drink like fish, alcohol, and but I heard that more than you could ever, ever, ever imagine. You're so nice, because I speak to you calmly. Let's see, I missed somebody. Thunder. Eventually like to try living in Japan. I got a friend's son living in Japan right now. He loves Japan. Him and his wife both. They're Americans. He's in the Navy. Yeah, Navy. And he's been stationed in Japan once before. Now he's going back over for a second stint of 4 years. He's in the medical field. He loves the Navy. I mean, he loves Japan. He's actually talked about that when he may, if he doesn't find anything better, he may go back there and live when he's done. Pat says, I was in a channel yesterday. They all would talk about peckers, dick pussies, talking trash to their wives. Weird. Yeah, and I don't like those channels. Look, we all have problems with our women folk, right? But does it do any good to bring them down? Or would it be better if you have problems to build them up? Now, we do have a little bit of a raunchy humor in this channel group. We do have a little bit of a raunchy humor, but it's all done in fun when it is done. And I don't think it's too untasteful, Pat. It was a Philippine channel. All right. So was it? Oh, Meme chimed in for an American. Uh, so it was as an American or a foreigner living in the Philippines, and that was his channel that it was on. Yeah. All right. So it is, but a lot of it's shock and jock. That's how some of these guys build channels. Some of these girls, they build their channel on making fun of people or harassing, like that Johnny Somalia kid who's in Korean prison, right? They try to build a following because they can shock and jock you, like Howard Stern, in a sense. And they think, what I think it just shows how little bit, how, what am I looking for, guys? My brain's squishy today. Um, how, how little of a man they really are. Because look, when you, I don't know, when you got to badmouth people that are smaller than you, weaker than you, that you may have some control over because you're the man, you have more money than they are in the Philippines, you're bringing in the money, so to speak, whatever it may be, but you got to bash them. That just tells me how much of a pussy you are. That's what I say about that. And you know me, I don't really care if anybody likes me or not, so I say what I want to say. So I think if you're one of those dudes that gets their jollies off on making horrible fun of people or bashing people, because that what makes you feel better, then I feel sorry for you. I really do, and I think you're pathetic. But at this day and age, we're all old enough to know what's right and wrong. We are all capable of making the decision not to be some way or to be some way. And when you choose to go down a road that is like that, then that's on you, nobody else. Nobody's making you do that. Nobody's making you make fun of your wife. I make fun of Lorelai a little bit, and sometimes too much. But I try to get her to make fun of me, but she won't do it. Ooh, my dog just found a grasshopper. It was really funny. My dog's sniffing the ground like this, with this is her nose. Lily's out there doing this, and the grasshopper was here, and Lily didn't know it. And she comes up, and the grasshopper goes, phew, hits her in the nose and flies off. They're also the same guys that are the keyboard warriors. They're also the trolls that come on these channels trying to start shit, is what they are. Maybe they changed their moniker a little bit, or this or that, but those same guys that will bash the women folk, or disabled, whatever, it doesn't matter. They're the same guys that get on here and try to stir shit up and make stupid comments and all of that, and they want to poke and pick a fight in hopes of getting response out of things. Pat agrees with that. Ronald agrees. Yep, the keyboard warriors and the trolls are really bad. They are, and as I've said a whole bunch of times, I like the trolls and the keyboard warriors because I like to use them as a teaching lesson, a teaching moment. And I know a lot of people can't do it. They don't like it. They don't want to tolerate it at all. But if I can use something that somebody comes up, and that's maybe why I don't get trolled that much, because people, if they throw something out, I like to take it and use it as a teaching moment. And when they realize it's not getting the reaction they want, then they go away pretty quick. Reading something, the more you get trolls on YouTube, the more you earn more money. No, I can't see that. I mean, the more action you get, maybe is what they're saying. If you got live streams like this and they're going crazy, chat, 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 then YouTube gets excited and they push it out better, right? And if YouTube is telling more people about my live stream, then I have a better chance of getting super chats. I have a better chance of getting my other videos watched, which earns me more money, but also earns YouTube more money. But you're not going to get more money by having trolls. Trolls may tell you that, but that's not how it works. It's all about watch hours. Sorry, about what are those things called? Commercials, ads, and or super chats and donations. That's how the money is. That's how it is, Pat. But if you use them right, it can be good for your channel. I gotta admit, and I've had maybe just 4 or 5 trolls over the years who came in to troll me and then they wind up being followers and are good guys. Now that they can't control me, I don't know what they're doing to other people, but to me, they're just ordinary people now. They've calmed down and become a decent person. I like that, Ronald. The Professor. Everybody subscribe to each other, by the way, if you haven't done that tonight. General Mills has a new cereal out, Fruity Trolls. I eat them up. They are delicious. Yes. That is funny. I wonder if there are no artificial ingredients type, or they are all artificial ingredients, you know. So that's funny though. But trolls have a purpose, and you have the power, everybody. Look, and this is the way it is in your life. You have the power to decide how you're going to act and react. Now, I react horribly at times. Trust me, I'm not a calm, cool, collected person. I'm a little bit of a hothead, and I don't take shit. But that's on me. It's my fault. So Tim is in the house. Mike and Vina is in the house. Everybody said hello to each other and subscribe to each other. So we choose how we react. So if we react poorly to the trolls, and that's on us, guys. It's not the trolls' fault that they got you all pissed off and irritated. That's not their fault. It's yours for getting pissed off and irritated. My niece loves those, Professor, yes. Everybody say hello to MJ and Tim. Good evening. Everybody say hello to Mike. How are you guys tonight? I haven't seen Tim in a while. Tim, you back from Canada? You back home in the Philippines? And all artificial ingredients. There you go. Glad to see you home. Thank you. I'm glad to be home. I hate being in the hospital. Luckily, I didn't have to spend the night. I I don't like. I have such nightmares in my coma. You guys just don't know. So, to be honest, the fear that they were going to, there for a while, I was in fear that they were going to keep me overnight. And I'm telling you, the the stress level was mounting quickly for me. Not Lorelai, she's calm, cool, collected, but for me, I was starting to freak out a little bit because last fucking time I was in a hospital, I didn't come out of there. So, you know, big deal to me. So, but thank you, I appreciate that. It was definitely stressing my happy ass out. So, everybody's saying hello to you. Good, appreciate that. Mike is officially monetized now, if I remember right. So everybody say congratulations to Mike and Venus. It's only because, you know, he has Venus that they're monetized. Because nobody would watch just Mike. Hey, Mike, you got to call it the way it is. That's the only reason people watch this channel. It's because of Lorelai. You know? Yeah, I just saw something about that. Wasn't there Canadian? Yeah, I did. I caught some of that today. Well, I appreciate that, Pat. You know, congratulations to Mike. Yep, made. There you go, buddy. You're raking in the money now. Woo-hoo. Man, you're doing good. Tell your brother David, I'd rather be bored than sick. Yeah, well, I live sickly. I just have, and I've had a lot of weird dreams since my dog died. My dog is the only reason I'm alive, the one that died after my coma, that I didn't, take care of things myself. So my dog, but since my dog died, I've had, the night terrors have come back. But in addition to the night terrors, there's been all kinds of weird ass dreams coming along. And I mean weird, stressful dreams. Lynn's in the house. Hey, there's our good friend Lynn. If you guys haven't subscribed to her, we appreciate you doing that. Thanks, Tim, on the congratulations. She's a great channel. She's up and coming. She's going to be the world leader. You guys go and check her out. If you're not friends with her, please do. So, yeah, I mean, I had and I don't know, I used to have a book about dream interpretations, but mine are all negative. So, I can sum it up like that. I don't need to interpret my dreams. I know what the hell my dreams are saying. My dreams, are not good. I'm freezing up in the cold weather. Yes, I know. So now, so you're in Canada currently, right, Tim? Now, so you don't know when you're going to get back to go home to the Philippines because of the strike. Well, you can drive across the border into America and we'll fly you home. Americans will fly you home, buddy. We ain't got no problem flying you home. You just come on across the border. We'll take care of you. We will solve Canada's problems. Canada can't do it. We can. Throw that out there. Then saying hello to everybody. Mike saying hello to everybody. Um, it's in there. It's in there. I didn't feel like wearing a tropical shirt today. I don't. My psychological mindset's not there, and I knew it was going to be really hot. And this is a really good shirt to wear outside in the heat. But I don't know. I didn't. You know. I don't know. I didn't feel like wearing one. I got one out and went. So I put it back on the hanger and got this one out instead. So. America will bring freedom and democracy. We will. We'll do anything. I can fly with a different airline on my own money. All right. Oh. So what you're saying is you've already paid for the ticket to come home, but Canada Air is striking, so you're screwed. You have to buy another ticket to come home on. Oh, is that what you're saying? Jesus Christ. Lynn is sending all over to you, Professor. Do you have oil? Yes, we have oil. I have olive oil, vegetable oil is what I have. There you go. Professor's drawing up the deportation papers for you right now, Tim, and get you back here. That's crazy, Tim, and that sucks. He has Diddy oil. Oh, you mean baby oil? No, we don't have any baby oil. How come you know what that is, Mike? Is that something you enjoy, Mike? You're the only one that brought up Diddy oil. I'm just curious if that's something you know a lot about. What did he, and I don't want to know what he did with it. Mim says that's some peanut oil. I know. We, I don't, we don't have any gas-powered anything, so I guess I got oil in my car in the engine. I got motor oil in the engines of the cars, but we don't keep oil around. Olive oil and cooking oil is about it, I guess. Do you have any oil? Appreciate everybody. I don't know where my thermos went. So this is a coffee cup, but I put iced tea in it. But I figured out it doesn't do very good to keep the iced tea ice cold. Outer body experience, yeah, it's pretty scary. I don't like it, I had a dream the other day I was eaten by a black panther. I have no clue what that was about, except for being eaten by a black panther as it jumped off of the roof and ripped my throat out. So, you only had one outer body experience? Uh-oh. What was her name? I know where you're going. I don't think I've had any outer body experiences. I don't consider the coma I was in an outer body experience. I don't know how to explain it. I don't think it was. Mike says, I think I had one when I was a teen, but can't be 100% sure it was real. Scared me also. Well, I guess I had kind of one driving in a snowstorm one time where I spun out. And man, that wasn't no, that wasn't that. That was, no. I don't know. I personally don't consider what I went through in a coma, those 10 months, as an outer body experience. I don't know. I guess I would have to Google the definition of an outer body experience to label my coma experience that, because I don't think it was that. You know what I mean? That's what I think. So what did you do, Mike? Well, yeah, I think medicine, drugs can definitely warp your mind and make you see and do things that, you know, you never would otherwise, right? I mean, if heroin can cause you to lose all of your teeth and all your weight and get rid of your family and live on the streets and eat out of garbage cans and roam around for the next little fix, then why can't other drugs do very similar things or opposite things? I was meditating and trying to do it after reading a book about astral projections. Nice. That's interesting. I don't meditate. After I came out of my coma, I had a psychiatrist tell me I need to start meditating. And I tried it in their office and I got about 5 minutes into it and said, this is bullshit. We're not fucking doing this, you psychotic person. Well, it took about 5 minutes before I blew my lid on meditation. No, it's not going to do it. But that's all right. Her name was, and I'll be damned if I recall her face. She loved me knowing what to do. Lyrics from Gordon Lightfoot, Carefree Highway. I'm with you. But when I felt myself leaving my body and rising up, I heard a very strong and loud voice say, stop. Don't go. Stop. In the name of love. You don't know what you're dealing with. And like a hammer was slammed back down. Wow, that's cool. That's actually kind of cool, man. Could have been a dream, though, hence can't be 100% sure. Yeah, I'm with you. I mean, I don't know what my coma was. I don't want to call it a dream, and I don't know what it was. I'm sure, you know, man, those damn psychologists pissed me off. Oh, you need to learn just to, what do they say? Cope. Cope? Look here, you mother. You know, let me take you outside and I'll show you how the hell we're going to cope. Uh, wow. See, besides the nightmares I have from my coma, I haven't had any weird dreams in years. The only dreams I had up until my dog died was the night terrors that I would have from what happened to me in the coma. But since Daisy, my dog, died, not only have the night terrors come back more frequently, because they had settled way down, but I've had all these other super weird dreams. And so for 7.5 years, I haven't had any dreams, just night terrors, and they've wind down in frequency because of my dog. But now that she's died, the night terrors are increasing, and then I have all these additional weird dreams. I mean, really weird dreams, like getting eaten by a black panther. You know, who the hell has a dream of being eaten by a black panther? You know. I had a dream about a rabbit dog or a devil dog last night. It was strange and in full color. I know a lot of people say that you can't dream in color, but I will say I have. I've never dreamt in full color. And what I question is this. I've dreamt in multicolor. So like I've seen purple and yellow, orange, blue. I've seen colors, right? But not like a full color picture. But I wonder, when we see or dream in color, is it our mind saying, okay, we know what color pansies, the flower, is supposed to be? It's supposed to be purple, okay? We know that the sun is supposed to be yellow, for instance. Or we know that a turkey is dark brown or whatever the hell color turkey is. You know what I mean? So I wonder if we're actually dreaming in color or if our brain is saying, well, we recognize what, like the Black Panther. It was black. Now, black's a color, you know? I mean, but when I looked at it, I went, oh shit, a Black Panther. I know what a Black Panther is supposed to look like. So I wonder if it's one of those type of things. You know what I mean? DMT. Pat says you're right. All right. So I just curious because I mean I used to dream before my coma about flowers. I like flowers. I like to grow flowers. Tim, we appreciate you. Look, if you need help, man, you just let us know. Us Americans will save you. We'll get you out of that land of bacon like you can't believe, buddy. Later, Tim. We appreciate you. Enjoy your vacation. Oh man. So I know what color things are supposed to be. So if I know what color they are, I mean, it would be different for me. Like if I knew that the calla lilies that I like, or lilies, or whatever, the pansies, if they were changing colors, I think that would be a real trip. Like you're hallucinating the colors, like they're changing in front of you psychedelically. That would be a real trip to me. But I don't have pleasant dreams. I do not have pleasant dreams. And I had some really bad dreams before I got sick this weekend. Well, this weekend was Friday morning is when I dreamt being eaten by a black panther, being attacked and eaten by a black panther that jumped off of the roof of my house right here. So, and black panthers don't live in my neighborhood, but that's all right. It is what it is, and yeah, I don't know. Mike says, don't dream a lot, but when I do, they're usually kind of scary or crazy. Yeah. Yeah, mine aren't crazy anymore. Mine aren't happy. Mine are fucked up, to be honest, simply put. Right on. Pat says, you're right, Mike. Yeah, so, you know, yeah, I don't think we remember a lot of our dreams. Meme is chiming back in. There was an experiment once they hid 5 different words behind a wall of 5 centimeters thickness. Okay. And send some guys on a DMT to read it. They can. Wow. Ronald, that's funny. I guess they did, didn't they? I think you're technically correct, right? The government got rid of the Black Panthers. That's why there's none on my roof. Name, I've heard of that first. Yeah, Mike's heard of that. So that's cool. You know, I don't know the sciencey stuff anymore, but I do think we don't even come close to using our brain capacity. I think there's so much of our brain that's untapped. And of course, some of us, Mike, don't even use, they use less than others. Not saying you, just throwing that out there. But saw a video with 3 or 4 blindfolds on some kids and even adults. They're able to see things presented to them. That's really cool. Like the third eye or something, you can sense it. Pat says they had episode person walking up in the funeral home. Person was dead, woke up. Wow, that's crazy. Mike says he uses 10%. Mike, I think you're bragging a little there, buddy. I try not to use mine anymore. If I use mine, fuck, struggles. That's cruel. What do you remember? What it was? What TV shows like on Secrets Are Out There or something? Maybe 8% did. I'm not even sure if I use 1% anymore. Hey, would that put me in the 1 percentile club if I only use 1% of my brain? And can I be a 1 percenter? Matrix was made to forget what you really are. The D, the DMT experiment shows what it really is. All right, I'll Google that at some point in life. It was on the Travel Channel, haunted shows based on true stories. Okay, Travel Channel. That's all right. Yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe, Mike. But hell, I got to get into the upper echelon somehow. I'm going to Google that. So the DMT experiment is known for giving users a very interesting trip. The name given to the experience of taking psychedelic drugs. The word appears to be very distorted when you trip on DMT. Colors, sounds, objects, and even time can be very strange. And some people experience out of the body experiences. So DMT is what? Diethyl-triamine? That's what DMT is, right? DMT has several health risks, can produce terrifying hallucinations, and might lead to physical dependency, can cause seizures and respiratory arrest. Is it legal? Is illegal in most countries. It's a Scheduled 1 controlled substance in the United States, meaning it has a high potential for abuse and not currently acceptable for medical use. While some countries allow religious use, I guess you can mix it in a tea for religion in some countries. Wow. See, we learned something tonight. I've heard of the people shining lasers at the wall and seeing codes for numbers within the lighting. Wow, that's a trip. Oh, I'm sure they do try. They try to scare us about everything. Get it. Get it, Lily. Yeah. Well, they do. You know, and I guess they feel like it's their responsibility to scare us against everything that doesn't make them a lot of money. I'm convinced, myself included, that nobody does anything for free. Nobody does anything without a good reason, and a good reason usually is money. I don't care how holy they think they are. Um, Money is a great motivator. Yeah, I don't know, Mike. To be honest, if it's the brain making shit up, one thing I think is this. I do think in today's world, we had this bug planted in our head already, right? So let's just play devil's advocate. So in today's world of social media and everything that's been going on TV for all these years, we have it planted in our head that this stuff can happen. You know, that maybe we're in a matrix, maybe society's not real. So there's all maybe the Earth is flat. All this weird shit that is talked about on TV and social media. So it's already planted there. So my question is, did people 300 years ago have the same issues? And I would beg to say probably not. So I do think a lot of it is made up in our own head from what we are presented in the world that we know. They make us mental slaves, yes. It's just the brain. I believe there are things that have been conditioned with. I agree. I think we've been pre-programmed. We are programmed. You know, memes trying to cause trouble again. The Earth is flat, man. You can't see it over the horizon. I told you, if you just look over the horizon there, if you go past the curve of the planet, you'll see that it's flat. Um, Astronauts, yes. But you know what I mean? I just kind of wonder. Now, if all of this shit in our brains, right, is because we're getting polluted with so much shit in our brains. That's what I think. I think that's a lot of my problem. I'm polluted. My brain is polluted. And I know it's polluted. Airplane. I've heard of people getting killed. They make a clone out of you. Yeah, you know, I don't know. Um, here's what I say about that, guys, about cloning. I think you could do it. I think it's possible to clone a human, but I don't know how you can clone some. Well, here's where I get sidetracked on clones. Humans take a long time to develop, right? So, did they find a way to speed up the aging process that they could clone me and turn me into a 21-year-old looking man in a couple of weeks? Or does it take 21 years, right? So that's where I get hung up on. And then, of course, what would the cost be to do that? What is plain? That's right. I don't believe much I see on the internet. Oh, no, no, no. No, 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 no. Like, you should never believe anything you see on the internet unless it's on my channel. My channel is the only thing that only. Um, and you use a circle on a globe. Well, a globe is kind of a circle, you know, a globe, you know. They have been doing it since the 1930s. Yes. You mean cloning or pre-programming our brains? Well, and that's the other part of it is, but how are they going to, do you really think science is so far advanced that they could take you and I at this age and clone us and produce another one like me? I mean, so tomorrow there'd be another David sitting here. I don't see that. Do I think they could clone embryos and clone a baby and clone something? But how are they going to develop a fully formed human being? It's going to take a long time to do that. And then, of course, you are right. The fact is, you can't clone memories or experiences. Cloning, yeah. Yeah, I know they've been working on it since the 30s. I know that much. Well, then, if it's not exact, then it's not a clone. Because that's what a clone is. Can I use a compass on the globe? Well, the globe is a compass. Hello? North Pole, South Pole, Equator. Come on, meme. Get with the program here. You know, North, South. You know. Test tube babies. Yeah. Well, test tube babies isn't that big of a deal to me, to be honest. I think the science, I mean, for the time was technology. But look, we've been doing that with horses and cows and livestock forever, right? Haven't we been taking the sperm and the egg of animals and mushing them together to make shit? Uh, that one doesn't bother me too much, you know. Well, that's me. That's why I have a compass, so I don't get lost. So the test tube thing is just, I don't know. To me, that's real basic. We've been doing that to fish forever. You know, we scoop a bunch of fish eggs, throw it in a tank, dump a bunch of fish sperm, and there you go. That's a test tube. Fish tank's a test tube. So that, not a big deal to me. But I just don't. know how they're going to produce a full-fledged David. I don't know how they're going to do that. That's what I don't see. Because when they did the sheep Dolly, Dolly had to grow up to be a sheep. Dolly wasn't in one day a full-grown 75-pound sheep, right? So she started off as a little sheep and got bigger. There's our good friend Tate Sanders in the house. Good morning to you. Good evening to you. You're in my part of the world. How are you, buddy? Everybody say hello to Sanders for me. Appreciate that. Please try using a gyroscope on a globe. Well, I have a gyroscope in my office somewhere, and I'm on a globe currently. So I have done that. I walked around the gyroscope on this globe. I've already done that, me. Sorry, hurt your feelings. Can't clone exact you. I've used a gyroscope. Mike used a gyroscope. See, you can use it. Yeah, I mean, so this is a globe that we're on, and if we can use it on this, isn't the same thing? You're on a globe. That's correct. We're on a globe. I am a gigantic globe, big ass globe. Everybody say hello to Sanders. Make sure you guys say hello to my good friend Sanders. He's down there busting his ass in the heat of Texas, supporting his family. So you guys all say nice things about my good buddy there. They will balance and always gravity pull towards the center of the mass, which is the center of the globe. Woohoo! Mass. Oh, man. There you go. Professor says, not with real synthetic skin can make you exact face. Synthetic skin. Okay. Well, I wish they, can they grow, and this is a serious question, are they able to grow synthetic skin, like human skin, or are they just harvesting human skin for burn patients? I don't know enough about the burn patient world. I didn't know if they were able to grow human skin in a laboratory or not. They should be able to because it's one of the easiest things to grow on a human body. Hell, I could give them 50 or 60 pounds of skin. Trying to help my knees get to 50 subs would be, oh, absolutely. Oh, Sanders, you just feel free. Drop her link and we'll go, everybody will go and subscribe to her. Absolutely. So Sanders is going to drop the link to his niece's channel, and we're all going to go subscribe. Be cool and subscribe. Oh, anytime. You know that. We don't mind. And as a reminder, anybody in blue, you never have to ask me to drop anything. You're always welcome to do it. If I've turned you blue, then I actually trust you. Now, meme, it's a different story. Yep. See, everybody's going to help out. Everybody's going to. Anna Ward Official. All right, you guys all get that? You know how to push on it, right? And let it drop down the drop down menu so that you can click on the channel. Let me see if my iPad has a battery in it. And I'm going to go do it right now. They're able to grow human-like brain cells right now to run a new, Neuralink. One piece of your skin from that stem cell. Okay. Oh my, don't trust me. Uh-oh. Mark's back in the house, Mark. I don't think we'll be able to clone an adult in real time due to biological match and chronological. Be the age of the person being cloned. That's my point. You can also can't clone experience, life lessons. And I agree with that. You can't do the, she has 22 subs now. Nice, making sure I have the right page. All right. So I agree with you. I don't think I don't think how you can't, it's not like the invasion to the body snatchers or they can just duplicate you, you know. All right. Now, if somebody else wants to drop her link to her page, you're welcome to do that so we all have it again. They are doing it. Ronald, do you believe that they're doing full size humans? See, I just can't see how you can make a full size human. You know, I just don't see that scientifically. I don't know how you can speed up the growth process. This is like Species, the TV show or the movie. Remember the movie with the blonde chick, the good-looking blonde chick, the movie where she was an alien, and they put her in a little cubicle, and she grew up and broke out of there to kill people. Anna Ward has 24 subscribers. Thank you guys. 29 videos. All right. Now remember, go watch a video of hers and then subscribe. Okay? She's got a video from SeaWorld. You guys go watch that little short. We'll give her some love, Sanders. Subscribe, like, and comment it for Send is good. Appreciate that. Thank you, Mike. Appreciate that. Androids. We need androids. Who's going to pick the fruit now that we kicked all the Mexicans out? Did you? I heard some crazy white woman talking about that the other day. Did you guys see her on, maybe not, on the internet? She was talking about, well, the government, this is what she was saying. The government needs to make more androids, like Data from Star Trek, so that they can pick the fruit at the farms as we kicked all of the Mexicans out of the country. Oh my God. Like, you freaking people are crazy, man. I need an Android. Oh my God. Oh, that's something different, totally different. And you probably need a lot of that. Yeah, I agree. Like, subscribe, and share. Give it a little bit of attention. That's what I say. That's what I say. Just give the channel some attention. And then I heard a funny thing the other day. Now, this is from this is just people being smartasses on the internet, right? I heard a guy the other day say, well, I'm a farmer. And you know what the hardest thing about this new immigration policy is? And the guy said, oh, well, what's that? He's like, learning to speak English again. Now all my workers speak English. You know, you have a new upload yourself? Good. Play the videos all the way through when I can't. Yeah, I agree. Help those watch hours. But that's good. Helping her get to 50, that way she can go live is really good. Because that's part of the big key. When you can start doing live streams, then you can build your channel. And thinking of that, Pat needs some more subscribers himself. Thank you for doing it, Pat. Do you really believe that all life? Oh, it's a great question, Meme. So basically, you're wondering, let me read again. Include the whole reach we all live in, and that comes from a big bang. Throw a puzzle against the wall and see what happens. Yes and no. I do think there was a big bang. I believe that there was a shift out there at some point in history, way beyond our comprehension, that created everything. I do. Do I think some of it is haphazardly done? Maybe. Do I think everything's predestined? I don't know about that. I don't believe that. So I don't know how to answer that one exactly, meme. Pat's like, oh, but he got one of them right. David, you should go here. All right, I'll look at that one. Mike believes the Big Bang happened, but it was by design. But who designed it? Okay, so a force that we don't understand. Things are set in motion. I'm going to pull that up, Ronald. Well, that's what I kind of mean. I think things were set in motion. Do I think we have control of things? Not really. We only have control of ourselves. Um, what? Ronald, I clicked on that thing you sent me, and my iPad just died. Did you send me something, man? It killed my iPad. I got to give my iPad a minute to charge back up. Think things are set in motion. What happened here is no coincidence. It was created. Oh man, that's what I am saying. Something created the universe. Well, I think in theory, let's say this. I think in theory, something had to create everything, right? In theory. Something had to create these glasses. So I think you're correct in saying something created the universe. I guess I like to try to go a little deeper and say, I think the universe is a very small component of something very, very, very larger that we have no concept of. I believe we're our significance in the grand scheme of things is about that size of an ant on the Empire State Building. Anyone who has no control over themselves is dependent on the matrix and will be reincarnated. All right. I don't believe in reincarnation. The universe is you. Okay. In our limited understanding of the mind, I think the universe was created, but what was only seen in 3D. All right. Well, Craig likes to think of it in the fourth dimension. You are the universe creating it. Now, meme, I kind of know where you're going with it. I've read some stuff about where people, everybody's a universe, and they create their universe by their actions. And I get with that kind of from a micro standpoint, but we can't say that on a macro level. We have to say that on a micro level, yes. And on me, I've created a universe. And it's like we have little bugs that live in our eyebrows. Did you know that? So, and those little bugs probably have organisms living on those little bugs. So, yes, yeah. Your thoughts do create things. I agree. Sometimes our thoughts create a lot of problems. That's what I've been told. It's okay not to think, you know that, right? You don't have to come up with that, you know that, right? So, also bacteria. So you're right. We are a host, even just me individually, not including all the things that I touch and see and interact with, but just our bodies alone can be considered a universe. I totally agree with that. Think about you clean the house, you do it, the house is clean. This is correct. Not very well, but it is done. I suck at cleaning house. We are the creator of the clean house, but I'm also the creator of the mess. That's what Lorelai says. It's like, it's always messy. And I'm like, well, you always know that it's always clean. Well, first was the ideal. didn't create it. You just wipe the dirt away. Well, I created the dirt. Well, I moved the dirt from outside to inside. Does that make me a dirt creator? If I made the mess come from, because I went to Walmart and bought the groceries and the trash bags. So, is that me creating the mess in the house, or is that, me bringing stuff into my universe? And then the final result. The universe is consciously is where we all are from IT, manifest us, and everything. So it's continuously where we are from it manifests us and everything. Okay. So you're looking at it kind of like meme is on a grand scale that we are the universe. The universe is what we manifest, or it manifests as us. So does the universe? So does if I'm a universe, then do I have power to manifest things on other universes? And what if that other universe doesn't want what I'm manifesting? Think about it many ways. I have a lot of theories and also listen and watch a lot. But everything leads me back to a causal force, okay? And the glasses you're wearing right now, where are they coming from? LensCrafter. Yeah, $600 freaking LensCrafter. Not at IT. IT. IT, like informational technology. Okay? So, but where's the tomato coming from that my wife has grown over here that I got to water later? Where's that tomato coming from? Oh, thought there was a bug tracking me. LensCrafter has the knowledge from the word it, okay? Okay, meaning single entity. All right, okay, I'm with you. Thank you, I'm with you. Pat believes that God is the creator. Pat, you don't got to delete that message. Remember, you can think anything you want on my channel. Mike says a casual force. A Philippines dream. Mike agrees with you. We just don't understand it. God is what he believes. Yeah, I mean, I do think, I don't know, I guess here's what I kind of think, and I don't have an answer to be honest. I think everybody's partly right and everybody's partly wrong. Maybe that's the political answer, but I think everybody has valid points, and they have some points that you kind of go, well, that's a little screwy. How can nothing explode? Well, but obviously, if it exploded, there was something there. Meme says, things what sounds you was first thought, then manifest. Okay. So everything was first thought about, then manifested. So that makes me the ultimate creator of the tea that I made today, because I thought about making tea and I made tea. But without the person who grew the tea and put it in a tea bag, sent it to Walmart, and the person that made my car and made my gas, I wouldn't have tea. I like that, Ronald. That's kind of the way I see it, to be honest. God is the man-made world to simplify what we do. I like that, because that's kind of where I'm at. I don't think God is, if you want to call it God, God's a man-made word. I agree with that. I don't see it as small as most people do. That's where I think everything was created, and an act by something or someone, not like a human because we weren't there, but I think that's how I mean it. I think a lot of people look at God as, a smaller than what really is. Meme says, hey, finally, you damn American, you understand what I was trying to say. Shit, about time. Yeah, outside the reality of our understanding. And I totally agree with that, guys. I don't think we have a clue. I don't think we understand shit. I know we all think we're smart, but we're not. We are not. We don't understand anything. We are so far out of our depth that it is unbelievable. Kid King's in the house. Give a man a fish, he eats for one day. Teach a man how to fish, he eats forever until all the fish run out, until you've overfished the oceans. No, I get you, Kid King. Teaching people is a good thing. Teaching them how to be self-sufficient is good. I think God is way bigger than anyone realizes in the big scheme of things. Yeah, yeah, and I agree with that. I agree. And Ronald, I think that's kind of what Ronald's saying, except for I guess I don't like to use the word God for that bigger realm. To me, God is this realm, and there's something. The vision of everyday God, is here, but the reality is way out here. So I think we're seeing God as too small. Everyone is God, and a whole universe is with us. Can create, you can destroy. Yes. Use it wisely. There you go. Cannot create a matter from energy, but we know how to create energy from matter so far. Yosef is in the house. Thank you for coming in, buddy. Thank you for the thumbs up, by the way. We appreciate that. So even CERN only created new matter for micro nanoseconds, and understandable that he could not maintain it. Okay. Humans are like the United States, an experiment. That's funny. You can create matter and just make a baby. Well, that damn baby will matter, that's for sure. Man, when it starts yelling and screaming, you're going to realize it matters. So Mike knows how to make a baby. Baby is already created cells combining DNA, then a zygote, and then it grows. It takes cells from the man and the woman. It does, but it ain't going to matter until it comes out and starts going, give me food. Then as it gets older, it's saying, I want money. Mommy, buy me that. Daddy, buy me that. I want that. Then it's really going to matter. Just saying. That's proof you're God. I understand that meme. I do. I get where a lot of people would equate that to the human version of what everybody thinks or sees God as. Like Ronald has said, the human version of the word God. I do think a lot of people, I think we just mislabel things. And then man created diapers. There you go. Somebody had to do it. So who made the cells? That's a good question. Well, the God before you, right? Your mother and father, who was, from Mean's perspective, were God when they made you because they are the maker, the creator, right? And then you made another one, so you became God and made another one. Reminds me of Star Trek, the creator. Take me to the creator. Remember that on Star Trek, where they found the Voyager probe and it was trying to get back to Earth to download all of the data that it collected? It needed to go to the creator. God is not the creator. Okay. I think it's all, I agree. I don't think we have a clue. If you claim to know the true answer for everything, then you're probably wrong. I agree with that. Keep an open mind. Yes, yes, I do. So what came first, the cell or the creator or the cell? The chicken or the egg, right? Why does God need a starship? God doesn't need a starship. Oh, you remember the one where he was God? You remember that one on Star Trek where they found and called himself God, but he turned out not to be an alien imprisoned on a planet, but he really wasn't God, but he kept saying he was. And then there's also the other one with the Viking God. Remember how they cloned the Viking, not the Viking shit. They cloned the Klingon, the god of the Klingons, and brought him back. And they had that big philosophical debate with the Klingon world about if Cronus, I think was his name, if since he was a clone, was he God? Because Cronus before was their god, you know? So that was the episode I meant. That one. Okay, nice. Mike, Joe's in the house. Everybody say hello to Joe. Appreciate you. Joe saying hello. Everybody say hello to Joe. So yeah. So there's yeah. But yeah, so there's the original one had the guy that was in prison, had a beard, looked like God. Or well, I don't know what God is. So very interesting, right? We just don't know. I really think we would never, I like the movie Lucy. Have you ever seen the movie Lucy? Where they come up with this weird drug and she injects or whatever she does. She consumes way too much of it, and then her brain capacity, and she winds up turning into Data and going to the. Remember that movie Lucy? That's a cool movie to think about. Bad saying hello to you, Joe. Klingons are created when you don't wipe your ass good enough. I agree. I agree, man. Some ugly mothers. Some of those women were kind of hot, though. Look, some of the Klingon women, not too bad. Got them in. I love these kinds of talks, but will never say I'm right or wrong. Also, I will not say anyone else is right or wrong. That's all right. J2, the professor says, hey to ya. Hey, 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 everybody. Thank you all for the thumbs up. We need them because we're poor. So, no, I love big philosophical debates. I dig them. I don't have the answers. I can lie to you and tell you I do have the answer. Well, guess he is. Dennis in the house. Hi from Mayberry. Miss Man packing on. Good to see you. 3 4 4 3 3 4 4 3. Dennis, how are you tonight, my friend? How are things going for you? Hey, Dennis. Everybody said hello to Dennis. Dennis, are you traveling? Huh. Good to see you, Dennis. Binary in Colorado. Okay, nice. How's Colorado treating you? Hello, Dennis. Hey, Pat. Got bugs coming around me. Well, welcome to America. Welcome to Colorado. The Mile High State, if I remember right. Yeah, I don't know. I just don't think we understand. We can barely understand the women we date. How do you think we can understand anything larger than that, right? I mean, come on. If we can't even figure out women, how in the hell can we figure out anything else? That's what you have to ask yourselves. Professor Columbia! Miss Columbia is waiting for him. I mean, it's, I don't know. What did we do yesterday or the other day? We probably ran up, I don't know, $20,000 in medical bills yesterday alone or the other day, whenever it was. And the answer was, we don't know. But we ran up $20,000 in medical bills. But we don't know. Yeah, nobody can figure out women. Even if there was a God, or if there is a God, or there's multiple gods. They could never figure out women. First step to understanding anything is to step back and realize you don't know shit. You got that right, man. They have double standards and they see things way differently than us. Professor says, you know what? I'm smart because me give up, me stop trying, me don't understand that. And Ronald, I'm kind of with you. I've learned over the years that I don't even try. Whatever. I just kind of go along with the flow, and sometimes I'll try to explain more or give more details or say, no, you misinterpreted what the person said to you. But a lot of times, whatever weird shit going on in the girls' heads around us, it ain't gonna matter. Not gonna matter, man. Pat likes that, Mike. So, it's not gonna matter. Our logic and rhyme and reason is way different than females, and that's okay. I agree with Ronald. Give up. Don't try. You take the good with the bad, and if you don't pay attention to the bad, then it's all good. Not that my wife has anything bad. Sorry, hurt myself. Hurt myself, I did. But yeah, we walked out of the hospital knowing nothing more than when I came in the hospital. So there you go. And we probably ran up 20 grand worth of medical bills. So, hee. It's kind of like understanding the complexities of dog shit. Well, Ronald, having been a dog owner, I get, we've had to try to understand dog shit, and it's not fun or good. We've actually been told by the vet, hey, you need to bring that in so I can analyze it. Okay, The best way to win an argument is to smile and give a yes nod and say, I understand I understand what you are saying. Really, you think? Oh my God. Maybe that's why I don't win very many arguments. I just whip out the bank card. There you go. Yeah, I think the best way to win on a serious point, I think the best way to win an argument is not to have the argument. We as men have to be smart enough to know when not to argue. And my point about that is, why would you argue with a woman? It isn't going to work. Yes, it works. Yes, no more. Thanks. Oh my God. They can be frustrating. It's kind of like this weekend when Lorelai's like, well, you need to go to the emergency room. And I'm like, I'll be all right in a day or two. I'm sure if I don't die between now and a day or two, I'll be all right. If I survive this, I'll be okay. And, after 20, 32 hours of her, I'm like, fine. We can go there. Spend money we don't have. Get answers we won't get, because we know it's not going to learn anything. Mike says, I learned that a long time ago. So sometimes you got to pick your battles. All right, Lily. Got to pick your battles. Come get that grasshopper and eat it. Come on. Get it right there. See it? Look on the ground. Big grasshopper. Eat it. No. Pat's asking, did you see Pro Traveler's new big house in his channel, brother? No, Pro Traveler. I did not. I don't know how familiar I am with this channel, Pat, to be honest. Well, I'll have to go check it out. But now, I can't even buy my wife a house versus getting a nice one. And on a serious note, that's kind of partly, and I know I harp about, the fact that I'm going to die way before Lorelai does, and I'm worried about her finances, even though she's not. I am. So, but it's kind of like, we got to pay all these medical bills, right? And I told her, I said, but if we don't go to the hospital, then we don't got to pay any medical bills because there won't be any medical bills. Hello. If we don't go do all these extra tests, there won't be any copays. So, it's better off. I'll check it out. I will. Wait, tell me again where your house is in the Philippines. Our property is up in Bogo, Bogo, northern Cebu. Meme says, can I have a second beer, please? You can have all the beer you like. You can do it. Wondering if I wanted to visit another island, would you rent it for my... We only have land, Mike. I think you're confused. We don't have, but we would. It would be like $20,000, not pesos. We would if we had one, sure. But we just have land up in Bogo. We haven't built anything yet. In 27, no, we have some other real estate. But in the Philippines, Mike, we just have lots, land, in a beach community. And so we haven't built anything there. When we go back in 27, we're going to decide whether we're going to keep them, sell them, or build on them. Just land, that's it. But hey, if you wanted to pitch a 10 on it, you could. Well, yeah, I'm just talking about rent. I need the $5 million to buy Lorelei house. I was going to charge you like $20,000 just to stay in our house for a day. Got to make some money somewhere. And of course, because Meme is here, I am just a poor old guy. Do you have German beer? Yes. We have. I'm not a big fan of German beer. I actually prefer, what do I like? Guinness. Don't have that kind of money? Me either. That's why I'm trying to get you to pay for it. I don't have the money either. That's why I want somebody else to give it to me. But it does concern me, to be honest. All of you guys that are hooking up with women, I know a lot of guys I've talked to over the years don't really care what happens to the women after they die. But I care about what happens to Lorelei after I die. And that's why I'm trying to figure out how we can have a house that's owned outright. That's my biggest dream in the world, is so that when I die, she doesn't have to worry about whether selling everything and going to the Philippines or figuring out how to pay for the real estate that we own. Guinness is good. I don't have that. Yeah, Guinness is good. I don't want to buy, just rent. Oh, I know. That's what I said, 20,000 USD a day. I think that's fair rental. Okay? Hey, if I would live there, it has to be worth something. Until I either get enough lawyers involved and her taken care of. Yeah, well, I don't think in your situation you're going to be able to. And I did a video kind of about that, Mike. You're in those situations like a lot of guys. You can't do a whole lot but what you can do. I know I will probably die before. Yeah, we will. Michelob beer. I like Michelob beer. I used to drink it a lot. They used to have an Amber Bock, a dark beer. They used to have Michelob Dark, and it was really good. Please don't hook up with women. They make you poor. Boy, I got that right. I was rich, then I got married. So now I'm not. That tells you everything. They have that. Yeah, they have an Amber Bock now. Michelob's Amber Bock is different than the Michelob Dark. The Michelob Dark was almost felt like it had some pulp in it, even though it didn't. But I really liked it. It felt that way. The Amber Bock is different. Mike's laughing at you, Meme. Mike, I agree with you. And I think you got to put something together to take care of her. I'm trying to do the same thing for Lorelei, but sometimes our Filipinas don't make it easy. Yeah, Amber Bock, right. But when I was a kid, 15, 16, 17, 18, Michelob Dark was on the market. It was so damn good. So yeah, we're the same way. And I've done some other things to try to help Lorelai out financially after I die. But we all know that the biggest bill you're ever going to have is that of a home ownership. So if I could ever get us to the point where she never has to worry about a home to live in, and I think with everybody that we know dying in the Philippines due to simple illness, and Lorelai does have a little bit of health issue. Her family seems to have a lot of health issues. I think it's best for her to stay in America as she gets older so that she can actually live a lot longer because everybody else in her family is dropping off like flies. They get a common cold, go into the hospital in the Philippines, and they die. Correct, Mike. And sadly, I don't want to bust your bubble, but it's not unique at all. It's very common for an expat to be with a married Filipina, even though maybe they haven't seen the Filipina, the husband, in 20 years. So I know a lot of guys in your situation, a lot of guys. So it's really not that unique. There's just not a lot you can do legally, but buy her things in her name. We Germans don't have it easy too. We're always the bad Nazi guys. Yes, you are. Shame on you. Shame on you. Mike says, we don't see it that way. Yeah, we do. Don't lie to him, Mike. You know. But we all got to do that for the women folk in our lives or the kids that we have. We don't have kids. If I had kids, I had to be stressed over their lives. And maybe that'd give me more of a heart attack. I don't know. Shame on me, baby, baby, blaming on me. Got the bugs coming out. Mike, you're thinking about doing the annulment. You talked to the husband. I don't know, Mike. But it's not that easy yet. I mean, just because he agrees and you can pay the bill, you still got to get the church or the government to agree to it. But it can be done. Yeah, you can do it that way. Or the other simple thing you can do is just, if you really want to take care of it, buy the house and land. Just, you can't put it in your name anyway. If you are legally married, as I said in that video, I have survivor rights as a spouse, but since you can't be married, you can't do it anyway. All right. Well, I think it's good effort to try. I think it's good to try, Mike. I don't blame you for wanting to do it. You already own this house, right? Okay. And then maybe it's more the key of, it's kind of like one of the things I thought about with the land we have in the Philippines is building rental houses on it. So while I'm still alive, I've been thinking about putting rental houses on it. I know it's a huge risk to put rental houses in the Philippines with us living in America. But I thought about doing that so Lorelai has a rental income coming in. But we know that's extremely risky in the Philippines, not like in America. And we've talked about going and buying a duplex that she can own and run and have rental income. So we've talked about stuff like that too. But we're living in America. We could build rental houses. But I don't trust property management companies in the Philippines, not to rip you off, not to sell your property, I just don't trust things. But you got to find some way to set them up for the future. That's correct. You got to have somebody spying on the management company. You got to have somebody double checking the management company, the property managers. Not me, that's right. You know what I mean? Because yep. Yeah, I agree. Because it's just not easy to do that from a long distance. It's just not. So that's where we may build a retirement home, and or we may just sell the land. Now that the neighborhood is being developed, we'll look at when it's worth the most. The prices have already gone up, way up from when we bought it. So once they start getting crazy and building homes in there, maybe we'll sell the 2 lots and she can just make a big profit. and we'll invest that money back in America. It's probably what we'll wind up doing. All right, my friends, it's after 9 o'clock here. I'm getting really tired. I need a rest. I appreciate everybody coming in. Once again, I thank everybody for all the kind words from the hospital visit. Appreciate all of that. And my dog Lily is starving to death. She's going to die of starvation. She's over there whining and wanting food. So everybody take care tonight. We appreciate everything. I'm going to feed my dog Lily, get some rest, and I'm going to water Lorelei's plants before we go to bed. So, and watch Lily chase bugs. So, Professor, appreciate you, Mike, Pat, Mean, everybody in the house. If I miss anybody, Sanders, Joe, everybody, we appreciate you guys. Everybody take care, and hopefully we'll see you later this week.